Really good.
Yes, for holding the hoopah. He needs to choose and ask for people to do that. Yeah, that may be a detail he hasn't gotten around to, and I mean, that's easy to do. It's not a big deal, so nothing to stress about. The important thing is that you'll have a hoopah and that it'll look nice. And we're making sure that's going to happen. And place settings and decorations at your tables at Briarwood. Jane is doing a beautiful job of that.
10 o'clock.
Right. Yeah, and plan on doing it here. Okay. And now something else I just want to clarify. I had offered my second bedroom some time back, but you thought you'd have a group of family and you'd have them all together and so on. In the interim, my daughter-in-law is coming down from Washington State, and I believe she's going to be here that Friday night. She's only going to be here one night. It would be the 17th. So I invited her to stay here, and I trust that's not going to make any problem or different. You got it all covered. You're covered. That's the important thing. Okay. But we'll plan on, right, and I will try to reach Marita today. And as soon as I do, I'll get back to you. If not today, definitely tomorrow, because then she'll be back at work. But she's busy today and I can't get hold of her, but yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's time. It's time that be happening. So, okay, well, absolutely. I'll give you a call again as soon as I hear. And Baruch just walked up on the bima and he's ready to start the program. So our timing is perfect. Well, all right, hun. Take care. Getting it. I'm so excited. I'm so looking forward to this. It'll be beautiful. So, okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Maybe when this program over, I'll talk to you about the arrangements that you're doing and so on. When this is over.
And when this is over, I gotta leave and pick up Miriam.
I know, it'll take 5 minutes.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to talk to you, whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't have. I've got full volume on.
Many are called, but few are chosen, right? Are these the people that made the cut? Is that it? Well, okay. More the merrier. I mean, for each of you. So I don't know who's going to use what. Now, you don't need to use the sheet music if you don't read music. I'll refer to the page number in the book, but you can do either or both. I'm going to give you the handouts. I would like them back and we'll use them next week. If there's anything you must have, see me.
Can I get a copy of the handout? In the meantime, I wish we would have known that.
Okay, so the story about the candle blessing, I'll tell you up here. The story about the candle blessing is this, some people don't realize how to do the end. This year it's simpler, it's not Shabbat, so we're just going to sing Yom Tov. When we get to Yom Kippur, we have another version. We'll talk about that one later. It's not Yom Tov. So let's just go over this one. I think we all know this. There's no special words, but let's just say it together once to get the rhythm of it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner, and then you repeat lahadlik ner shel yom tov. So at the end it's Lahadlik ner shel yom tov. So you have to drag it out there. So let's try it together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel yom tov. So obviously the time not to be shy is the end, since it's, it's not what we're used to hearing with the Shabbat thing. So let's just do the last part again. Let's start in the middle of the third line. Vitzivanu. Vitzivanu lehadlik ner shel yom tov. Now, even though it's in this minor key, which a lot of non-Jewish people often think it means it's very sad because they hear, that sort of thing. But in Jewish music, there's a lot of minor that isn't sad. And in this case, it's talking about lighting the candles for Yom Tov. So we still want to usher it in with a good feeling and leave it upbeat. It doesn't go down the drain. So we'll come back to that. The nice news is, continuing on that Yom Tov, which is this holiday, wonderful day, is right away we're going to Segway, which isn't a competing grocery with Safeway. Segway means immediately following. In Italian, it means to follows. So we're going to do Faye, would you like the song sheets? We're just saying that after this first one on page 1, we're immediately going to segue into the Shehechianu, which is saved for times that what it's about is we actually are acknowledging that we're grateful that God has brought us to this very time, this very moment. Or if you're not into time and you're into space, because it's all similar in Judaism, I think they were ahead of their time. And it's because Olam is really the cosmos. So it's brought us to this time and place, or this, however you look at it metaphysically, but here we are and we got this thing. So this does have a happy sound to it. Let's say it first. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. That's is it right? Let's see. Ki manu. Yeah, v'higianu lazman. It's correct. Yeah, and then you have to breathe. That's why it's not one the choir used to try and do it one breath, so that by the time they got to Maine, they didn't have anything left. Don't be afraid to breathe. I remember my mother always used to tell me, breathe, don't be afraid to breathe. And people will breathe with you, because we all need to breathe. It's not like they could go, breathe. So let's try singing this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechiyanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Now you'll notice it's because it's a Hebrew song, not like when we do Tefillah Haderech, which is mainly in English. May you be blessed, blah, blah, blah. That's at the end we say Amen. This is in Hebrew, so we say Amen, which is the Hebrew version, which is where they got the English version. So that's why you see MEY, and they really want to keep it with this Hebrew idea. Does anybody need to go over those lyrics again with the pronunciation? They're a little tricky, a lot of words there, but let's just do it one more time for edification. And remember, when we go to do this, there's really not going to be a gap between the candle lighting and the Shehechianu. It's sort of follows, right? All right, let me turn this up a little so you can hear it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Oh, 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 amen. Good. And so we do that, like I say, it's a happy thing and a good thing. We try not to overdo the use of Shehechianus during the year. You know, it's not like I got my refrigerator clean today or something like that, but we do them for birthdays, anniversaries, for just something that is, one says, they say in a while, like a blue moon. Of course, we're having that blue moon today, the sturgeon moon. Found out sturgeon were not kosher, actually. Surprise. Hmm? Yeah. Indian, like American Indian? Really? Okay, well, I can't wait to see it. We don't have clouds today, right? 3 days, I guess. We don't have a cloud. Well, there's no clouds in the sky today, right? Should be good. So, right, now we come to page 7, the Shema and the Baruch Shem. Now, this is one that we have retained as a High Holy Day melody. There are numbers that we do, songs that we do in our Reform presentation for the holidays, that we stick to the normal average Shabbat melodies, just because most people don't know them and feel lost. If we were a very conservative shul, all the nusach would be different. You know, I mean, my feeling about it is you do what you can, and a little flavor. It's like the woman that wears the basic black dress. One day she wears it with pearls, another day with an orange necklace or something. So we're taking, you know, some of the stuff we know and we're dressing it up with the stuff that makes it High Holy Days. So the next one is particularly High Holy Days, the Shema and the Baruch Shem. Here it is, but we're going to do it a little lower this year because some people are uncomfortable with those notes. We've been doing it up here. I want to lower it a little, okay? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Then it repeats. Baruch Shem, Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. See, isn't that a more comfortable key? I think when I came here, they had a choir with more sopranos than anything. And so the choir director would always say, I can't lower it. My sopranos can't sing that low. So it was so ridiculously high. It sounded like cats being thrown on a blackboard. Really, it was terrible. So let's try it again. Everybody knows these words, so I don't think we need to pronounce them. Just you have to watch where they come in. Each line you'll see is a little different. Instead of that Adonai Eloheinu, it's Kavod, and then some other place, and then going back, there's no Shema. It starts on Baruch Shem. So you just have to watch the entrances. All right. I'm sorry, I'm doing Baruch Shem. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem. Kavod Malchuto Olam Vaed. Any questions? Why is the sky blue? Why is the moon blue? No questions. All right. So here we're going to look at the Via Hafta, which here is an example of one on page 12, or the music, is an example of one that is in our regular Shabbat and daily liturgy. We've left it alone because, again, it's really the Torah chant, and it would be a big production to learn a different one, and it works pretty well. This version, except for one line that we've sort of raised, just made it more important, is the version by Rabbi John Haddon. He's a very fine rabbi. I first met him in Israel, and he ended up doing a wedding of a relative of mine in Connecticut. And I like what he did. It's in the book Gates of Song. This is the way it was there. We changed one line, but I didn't change the way it's written, but you'll know it when we get to it. Now, let me just see where it is. It's before the Lamam. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah. You'll know. It's before the, see where it indents the last four. It's that last line before that the rabbis here have done it a little higher. You'll know it when we get there. So we're going to do it again a little lower than here. Shall we pronounce it once and see if anybody, just don't be embarrassed. If there's something that you think the transliteration doesn't work for you and you want to know how it's really pronounced, we'll go over that word or so. So it's Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam livanecha v'dibarta bam v'shiftecha v'veitecha uvelechdecha baderech uveshochbecha uvekumecha ukeshartam laot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot bein enecha uchtachtam al mezuzot betecha uvisharecha lama'an tiskeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kiroshim lelolechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotze tietchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem. And as far as the translation goes, we'll be singing that in English afterwards, so we don't have to go there. Anybody have a problem with any word there that's specific? Just more like just getting comfortable with it. It's what we call, when we do languages and singing, muscle memory. You just have to, your muscles have to get used to the order of doing things they're not used to doing. So that comes. So let's just try it. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom alevavecha Vishinantam nivanecha vidibarta bam vishiftecha bevetecha uvelektecha vaderech uvishachbecha uvekumecha ukishatam laol ayadecha v'hayu latotafot בין עיניך, וכתבת ומזופתך ובשעריך. And then there's sometimes a gap, and sometimes the books are written with doing some of the English then, but we do the whole thing together. Laman tiskuru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kiroshim lelolechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lechem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. And the good part about when we chant these, instead of just reading it in the is it's just like learning our A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, M. You know, when we sing stuff, it sort of sticks more, don't you think? I mean, it becomes there's something that more personally collected by us. It's so well, you could get a t-shirt that you know on it or something. Line 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, the uvekumecha. All right, uvekumecha ukashartam laot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha tavtam al mezuzot betecha ubisharecha. That's where I talk about the muscle memory. So let's do those two lines then together. I mean, singing them. Uvekumecha ukashartam laot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot bein enecha uchtavtam amuzot betecha uvisharecha. Little better. Just takes time. But yeah, you can get t-shirts made and then look in a mirror and it'll be backwards, and then it won't seem backwards like Hebrew, it'll be forwards. So let's go over the Debbie Friedman one as well. We're going to do the English. It's in our list. Yes. Which would you return it so make me one so my package will be complete and I'll know. So keep that package till I see you, all right? All right, so now we're going to sing Thou Shalt Love. She did it pretty closely, and it certainly has the feeling of it. It doesn't go into some of the other praise things like how you got us out of Egypt and that sort of thing. You know, it's just lovely. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. And thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou risest up, and when thou liest down, and when thou liest down. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. and thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God. Yeah, it's really, well, the music, the translation in most books is not hers. She wrote her own version. And I don't think the people that have the books written find any fault with what she did. It's just a more poeticized, lyricized version. And basically, it leaves out some concepts like about reminding them how you got us out of Egypt and all, all the flattery that we give God. I mean, leading up to, you can do anything, basically. We're counting on you, God. It's sort of, we're a cross between a cheerleading section and then often just whiny people that need something. We're supposed to really know that if we do the right things, we don't have to whine, our needs will be met. So these are not whiny songs. We express always our gratitude, and first we bless God. And now here, this next one, here is where we're acknowledging that our God, there's no God like our God. And how God got us through the sea of reeds, and there was Moshe and Miriam and what they did, and it's just saying that God will rule forever. I mean, we express positive statements so they stick, not to God, but to ourselves. So this Micha Mocha, you'll notice when I get to do my middle part where it says solo, this is the evening part of the liturgy. We will be doing the same basic song, or you will, when we get to the morning, only the solo part in the middle is slightly different, which doesn't affect you at all. So it'll seem familiar. Now, this particular nusach is part of the High Holy Day nusach that you'll recognize the melody. So, and each festival, has its own nusach. We sometimes do the appropriate michamochas, etc., for Shavuot and Sukkot and Pesach, but unfortunately, again, because some people aren't comfortable doing so many different melodies, we do standard things, such as when we do Chatzi Kaddish, we use the same one a lot of times because people know that one. But but there's just really a great variety of nusach, and some of them are quite beautiful. All right, let's go over these words. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar bakodesh, nora tehilot ose fela. Now you'll notice on my sheets, these sheets, this was originally in the Ashkenazic, which was the Hebrew that was used before Israel was a state again, and they decided to use the Sephardic pronunciation. But in your book, it should be right. It's page 15. So if you're uncomfortable with making my little O's into A's and such, you'll find it on page 15. But other than that, it's pretty close. All right. Mi chamocha valim no, mi chamocha. I missed the little tie there. Mi chamocha ba'olim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, no rati lo, oh say, and then I sing, which I don't need to do right now. And after I sing Amaru, Amaru, then you come in again. Adonai lo le'olam va'ed. And I'm so happy to hear everybody saying le'olam or le'olam, not le'olam. It's not le'olam. It's just a short le. Sometimes in English, just for some color, we add a little more as opposed to saying but it's basically the word is le'olam. So you're doing great. Let's do it again. Mi chamocha ba'olim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, no rati lo, oh sefele, malachutcha ra'uvanecha, v'keyam lifnei Moshe, zeli anu v'amru. Now you come back right away. Adonai lo le'olam va'ed. And I just found a goofball in here, and I'm happy to report it, because if you can see on that, the line before the last line where it says She, we're part of Moshe, it's supposed to then be added now, Umiriam, because we acknowledge, the contributions equally of women. So I'm going to write that in. I have the notes there. You can see the little notes. Does everybody see where that's my part? I just want you to be aware that modern Judaism, even the conservative movement, has added, just like we have the Imotenu and the Avotenu. Debbie Friedman was one of the first ones that really wrote her songs specifically to be not just gender sensitive, but to be inclusive. And eventually she was honored very much from everything she did. And the School of Cantor music at the seminary in New York is named after her, which is really incredible, because she was never an ordained cantor, but she had it in her heart, and she had things you can't be taught. Yeah, she had a debilitating disease for a lot of her life and was in a lot of pain, and she understood pain, and that's why we sing her Mishaberach. I think it's so wonderful. However, when we get to that, we're not doing hers for High Holy Days. Rabbi wanted one to separate it, again, to make it be aware it's High Holy Days. We'll get to that shortly. So now we get into the tefillah. We're doing the same ones we do, but I included it because there's a middle part that we don't normally do. Plus, maybe you're not that familiar with this, because back in when was it? Well, it was about the early 90s. They took the avot here, where we bless the fathers, patriarchs, and they added the matriarchs as well. Various people came up with their own version of the tune, how it should be done. And I, being as much qualified as a composer and a acknowledged composer at the time, did my version. And when I heard somebody else's version in LA, I didn't like theirs as much, so we kept mine. I think it's simple, and people, I've not had any complaints. So this is the one we do. You may hear it a little different somewhere else, but the idea was that we made it with the matriarchs as well, to make sure they're acknowledged. Okay, so let's start with at the top there. I think this key isn't that bad. Adonai sivitai tiftach ufi agiti latecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Well, all right, but how's that so far? Okay. Now that melody was by somebody else. I'm just wondering. Now this is the evoke. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Belohei Avotenu Beimotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Anora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Bekonei Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot Umevi Geula Lebnei Bneihem Lema'an Shemo B'Hava. Now, normally in the Shabbat, we go on Melech Hosanna, but because it's high holy days, we do this segue again, which means what? Continue on, follow. So we turn the page and we immediately go into Zochrenu, which is traditional tunes. Let's go over the words because people don't hear this every day. Zochrenu lechaim, melech hafetz, B'chaim b'chavenu, b'chatvenu, b'sefer achayim, lema'ancha Elohim chayim. Then I sing a little bit, and then you come back with the response after I do Adonai on the second last line. You do Baruch Hu uVaruch Shemo on the one note. I'll give you the note when we get there. And so this, like I say, will be immediately after we do that other part that I'm going to play again. The last line there is Laman Shemo Ba'ahava Zochrenu L'chaim Melech hafetz b'chaim v'chatvenu B'sefer ha'chaim lema'anecha Elohim chaim. And then I sing Melech Hozer u'Mashiach u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai. And then on that same night, you're going to go Baruch Hu u'Baruch Shemo, right? And then I sing it, and then you sing Amen after you imitate my last line there. Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. And you go, Amen. As you see, I wrote in there because it used to be Magen Avraham, we left out Sarah, well, can't do that. It's ridiculous. We're modern people who realize they both deserve to have our respect. So let's try this again. Any question on the page before? I'm happy to do that now again, the avot. The other page. You want to do it again? We'll do the whole thing. The beauty of this is, of this whole concept here is, where would we be without our mothers and fathers, right? And so we're paying our respects, and we're blessing God who made it all possible to have these mothers and fathers, and then we're going into this other High Holy Day part, which is about remembering us in our lives, and and tying us, trying to make sure we're part of this line, that it didn't end with all these guys on the other page. So we want God to remember us in the book of life, right? Sort of like, you didn't forget them, and so hello, don't forget us. So let's start at the Adonai Sivitai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Anora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot, V'imahot, U'mevii Geula V'levinei V'neihem, L'man Shovah. Next page. Zochreinu L'chaim, Melech Hafetz B'chaim, V'chatbenu B'sefer HaChaim, L'man Anecha Elohim Chaim, Melech Ozer, Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Amen. Good. You're all hired. Well, I'm hoping you will be my shills for the congregation. A shill is actually, I don't know what it originally was, but when I lived in Las Vegas, they would have people playing it, like the blackjack tables and such, that were hired to sit there and play. Even if they won the money, it went back to the house. So it looked like there's people playing, and people would sit down and play. So in this case, if you're singing, it'll help people feel, well, I'm not the only one, I could sing along too. So that's the kind of shill I remember. If you can possibly do that. I know there's comfort in okay. Seriously, the more you can scatter yourselves, it helps. Although I know some of you are glued at the hips, but there are other people that know the material, so do what you want. But I do appreciate that you're going to try and get them going, because unfortunately we don't have our choir, and who knows at this point what we will have. And then there's people at home, and they'll hear you as well. I trust the mic will pick up some of the people. It picks up some people, doesn't it? When we're on Zoom and there's people singing, it picks it up, doesn't it? So there you go. So I mean, we'll have a congregation, you know. So then we go into our traditional Atagi board chant, which is page 20. But you'll see there's a bunch of messy writing there. And it's like, why is there this messy writing there? Because when we get down to the second to last line on the Umatzmiach Yeshua, and there's like a double bar, and it says go back, and then you see another Michamocha verse, because the second time during the High Holy Days, we add this other little verse. So let's go over the whole thing, and we'll add the verse when we get to the Shua where I said, all right? So we're going to do a Tagi Bor, all right? Does everybody follow what I said so far, sort of? We're going to go down to the middle of the second to last line, and then we go back to the second part of Michamoko on where you see the says another verse in handwritten. So let's start at the beginning. Ata gibor leolam Adonai, Michaye hakol ata, Rab lehoshia, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Michaye hakol barakamim rabim, Somech noflim rirofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umkayem emunato, Lishene afar. Mi chamocha baal givurot, Umi do melach, Melech memit umachaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua. Now we go back to the Michamocha part, the second verse. Michamocha av harachamim, Zocher Yitzu Rav, L'chaim Barachamim, L'chaim Barachamim. Then we move on. V'ne'aman ata l'chachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, Mechaye hakol. So that I meant to mention the first part, the first two lines, till it says faster, a tempo. That's my lines. Traditionally, the cantor does those, and then you pick it up with Michal Kel. So I'll do those, and then you come in. All right? Yes. All right. Let me open my book. I don't know. Let me open my book. Well, I'll let you know. Page 20. Maybe it's not page 20 then. Yeah, it doesn't. 22. I don't see it on, I must have the wrong 22. Oh, there's different services here, I guess. Okay, Atagi, all right, page 22. So that's a mistake. All right, thanks for telling me. It's page 22, not page 20. Thank you very much, Diane. All right, page 22. And let's see, but it does have the extra Michamocha verse like we're supposed to have, right? Yes, it does. Okay, so let's try. Thank you for pointing that out. I never said there's no mistakes. We learn from each other, which is why we're together, isn't it? All right, so let's try this. So I start out. Atagi bor leolam Adonai mechaye hakol ata Rab lehoshia. And then you pick it up. Mechalkel chayim bechesed. Michaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim v'rofei cholim, umatir asurim, umechaye emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach. Melech memit umachaye umatzmiach Yeshua michamocha av harachamim zocher yitzurav lechaim berachamim v'ne'aman ata l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Michaye hakol. How's that coming? Can you read my scribbling there? Well, let's go over those words in the middle then. Let's do the second verse where I wrote it. Michamocha av harachamim, Zocher Yitzu Rav, L'chaim Barachamim, L'chaim barachamim. And then usually I do this part alone, but I take all the help I can get if you want to do the last part. B'nei amanata l'chayot hakol baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol. Let's do the two verses there. Let's start at the beginning of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth line down, where we sing emunato. Emunato lishenei yafa mika moka ba'al givurot umidel melach melech memit umakaye umatzmiach Yeshua mika moka afarachamim zocher yitzurav L'chaim barachamim, l'chaim barachamim. All right, then I finish it. B'nei amanat l'chayot hakol, baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. We will be doing it again. Is this a roughy one or what? What? Was this a rough one? You want to do? No, the book has a lot of typos, unfortunately. No, they'll have the book. And a lot of them will read the Hebrew, and there's some typos there too. But a lot of the Hebrew was cut and paste, but sometimes they cut and pasted too much or too little. It was done rather in haste because it was the last minute decision to do the book, you know, and things happen. But it has some good things in it. And for the moment, we're dealing with it. If you have specific questions about stuff that you find problematic in the book, no, I mean seriously, you can call me or email me. Yeah, but so use these. But I mean, if there's something you need help with in the book that you find wrong, does everybody have my email? You can email me. I'll send you the correction. I'll pass this around. You can write it on something, because unless it's your book, you're not going to take the book. Do you want to hold on to these song sheets then? Good. Yeah, might as well. That's what they were made for, I guess. So if everybody wants to write down this isn't my pen, so please return it. My email. In case you find a question with that book and you need clarification as to which version is kosher. Yeah. All right. But my email is bkoritan, BKORITAN @cox.net. All right. And I'll write you back. I mean, I want us to literally all be on the same page, right? All right, let's do this one more time for the sake of clarity. There's no point just running through everything. All right, so I started. Atagi le'olam Adonai mechayeh kol ata rab lehoshia mechaker chayim bechesed mechayeh kol berakavim rabim somech noflim merofei cholim umatir asirim umekayem emunato Lishenei yafa michamocha ba'agevurot umido malach melech memit umachaye umatzmiach Yeshua michamocha avarachamim zocher yitzurav lechaim berachamim, lechaim berachamim. And then I finish it. So this also will turn up in the Yom Kippur service and perhaps another one of the, whichever, it may be 3 times. So it's worth knowing. And it's a cute melody, actually. So we'll come back to that one. Sorry, the page number was wrong on it. So then we come to page 23. Now, I'm not really sure this is the Atah Kadosh that I do. Let me make sure before I have you practice it. Oh, it is the one we do. Okay, so it's the regular Atah Kadosh. Now, this regular one, by the way, was brought to us by one of our Rabbi Emeritai. Rabbi Mas brought this from his congregation in San Diego, written by his musical person there, his pianist. And it's a lovely little melody. So that's where we got this one and why people may not know it. So let's go over the words to Atah Kadosh on 23. Atah Kadosh, V'shimcha Kadosh Ukidoshim, V'cholam V'halalucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. All right, let's try singing. Let me play it because some people don't know this melody either. I'll play it a little lower. Atah Kadosh V'shimcha Kadosh Ukidoshim B'cholam V'halalu Hasel Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Let's try it again. Any questions so far? Okay, it's sweet. Atah Kadosh V'shimcha Kadosh Ukidoshim B'cholam V'halalu Hasela Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Well, they could. I mean, I'm not supplying blinders. Well, they could do. Well, they could, but whatever. If they want to do that, that'd be great. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, why not? Just, we're on a pesky pandemic budget here, so if you have your own binder. All right, so that's a sweet one, and I can see why Rabbi Moss wanted to bring it. I know, but I'm explaining it. It's not from the standard repertoire, but it's lovely. We added it about a month ago. We did it because Dave Katz likes it, but they've been away, so they don't get it. But we may put it back. So all right. So what have we got here? All right, now this one. We'll do this one, and then I think we'll call it a day for the others. This is that Misha Baruch that we put together because we felt that the Debbie Friedman one is so associated with Shabbat that we wanted to just stick with the nusach of High Holy Days. So assuming you don't know this one exactly, let me do it for you once and then we'll approach it together, okay? Wait. Okay. Misha Berach Avotenu V'I. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I gave them a bigger. Good. Misha Berach Avotenu V'Imotenu U'Yevarech Et HaCholim V'Nomar Amen. That's a V'Nomar. V'Nomar. So that it's the same idea. So there it is on the bottom. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal those who are ill. And let us say amen. I mean, if that isn't to the point, which is good. So let's say the words together. Mishaberach Avotenu Ve'imotenu Hu Yivarech Et HaCholim V'Nomar Amen. Okay. Any questions? To sing? Because you don't know it. Yeah. I'll make it a little louder. Once you get it. Misha Berach Avotenu Ve'imotenu U'Yivarech Et HaCholim V'Nomar Amen. Sounds a little clearer? Yes, Dan. It's not, don't go to the book on this one. They're not, but Rabbi wanted, he didn't want that one. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe we could make a sheet of this or something. I could do it fancier or something, but he wanted a different one than we do for the, it's not the one in the book. Yeah. Yeah, well, and this is basically the only one that would be different. I would go for that. I don't know how many people we're going to have, but we definitely decided not to do the Debbie Friedman one, which for those of you who don't even know what I'm talking, it's the, Misha Beira. Everybody loves that, but he just wants to separate it. And I understand where he's coming from. So this could be, I could clean this up and, we could print it or something, but let's try it. We're the, as I said, the shills. All right, so I'm going to play the intro too. Misha Beirach Avotenu Be'imotenu U'Yivarech Et HaCholim V'Nomar Amen. Exactly. That's the High Holiday Nusach. All right, let's do it one more time. Let me see if I can hear you. Misha Beirach Avotenu Ve'imotenu U'Yivarech All right, how about the where it splits over there? Hu yivarech et hacholim benomar amen. I mean, it's not earth shattering, but that's at least you know it's not Friday night. What? Well, all right, but then we'll stop. I've got to leave something for next week, and we'll review everything next week. Oh, say shalom. Yeah, I chose this one. That we will be doing another one sometime, but I chose this one because most people remember this one, right? And it's still beautiful. Oh, say shalom bimrama, say shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Good. So, all right, we'll continue it. We'll continue next week, and I hope to see everybody. Hold on to your sheets since you were kind enough to come. Those will be your packets. And as we've been advised, we could put them in binders. And any questions in general? Well, then the next part after there's something like an Ein Kilahino or something there, then the others are specifically either the morning of Rosh or Yom, because the same congregational ones repeat that we've done, with the exception of like we have a Bina Malkenu in there and other ones that are specific to other services. But most of them, like the Micha Mocha and the Cantor blessing with different words and things like that, will repeat. So we did the hardest part today, actually, I think, but I didn't give you things that aren't really congregational, because it would just be, I think, overwhelming. And I do them anyway, but I want you to really feel good about doing the parts that are for everybody to sing. We can really create something very special. So I thank you for being here. And like I said, contact me. Pleasure. Sure. Now, I love questions. No, it's good. Well, that song, I think maybe we can make copies of that song. I might even contribute those myself or something. My printer holds out. All right, sure. Because that's the Mishbeach we're going to do. So great. Thanks for the suggestion. We can do that. All righty then. We did. I don't know. Well, Andre, I mean, I trust Andre. He was going to. He asked me where I was standing. I gave it to them down there. And if you have any suggestions? Sure. I did. Not all the time, but they did raise them. They did raise them about.
You know, I went to all because I got fed up. And I have internet and we have cable television. But we have basic cable.
And I don't have all those crazy channels. I have one streaming hungry, other ones don't get.
Yeah.
You have to have one of the. I don't get one.
You know how much it was? Because it should say David, I gave it to David, and they, paid that, and then they charged me another $50.
I was talking, I never.
Oh, well, then they're just on.
No, you got to talk to them.
All right, well, thanks again for a nice morning.
That's good. Shalom, shalom,
Ha